waste are not good for us. So half the job is done when you have an enlightened audience. So why we are doing this topic today, like Ram told you that, we all have kitchen waste and garden waste being generated. In fact, the average waste which a family of, which everybody on per capita basis generates in a country like India is about, 400 to 500 grams. But in metro cities, we are generating more waste, 600 to 800 grams. So even if I assume that we are generating about 500 grams of waste per person, and most of it is going to the landfills. And India's annual waste production is 62 million tons. And I live in a city like Delhi, where, we have 3 major landfill sites, where we have about 28 million tons of waste lying untreated. And this is causing a lot of problems because there are, methane is generated in these sites. So there are occasionally fires there. And the harmful chemicals from, we may be disposing of batteries, and we may be disposing of electric and electronic waste like, CFLs, LEDs. So all those harmful chemicals like lead, chromium, heavy metals, they are leaching into our water. And this is causing a lot of problems to the people who are living in nearby regions. And all of you, I'm sure, have read also that, because they are so high, like Gazipur landfill site is about 65 meters, which is just 8 meters short of height of Qutub Minar. And it is such an ugly site. Nobody would want such an ugly site in a city like Delhi, or even in any city. So what is the other alternative? The other alternative is that we try to take responsibility for waste which we are generating. So domestic waste I'm talking about today. So of the domestic waste, about 40 to 50% on an average will be waste which is biodegradable. Biodegradable means which is degraded by bacteria, fungi, like earthworms, Icina fetida, like vermicompost. I'm sure all of you have heard. So either we can do bacterial composting, or we can do vermicomposting by these worms, and try to treat the waste which is degradable. And then, we can use this waste converted to black gold, which is known as compost, in our kitchen gardens, and try to grow our own food. So it is solving two problems. It will be visually appealing, it will be aesthetically pleasing, we will be having our own greens, and we will be also converting waste to wealth, and the waste will not be going to the landfill sites. So it is like a win-win situation. I'm sure all of you have seen the slides which we played before the event started. So where we said, the Mother Earth is having temperature and Mother Earth's arteries are clogged. How they are clogged and why they are clogged? Because the waste we are discharging is ultimately reaching our rivers and seas, and it is clogging or blocking them. And when we have our heart arteries blocked, what do we get? We get a heart attack. When we have temperature, we don't feel well. Same way, the Mother Earth is also not feeling well because the temperatures are rising. I'm sure all of you have heard about climate change and global warming. So we need to do urgently something about it, rather than, just try to pass on the responsibility to the municipal authorities or to the governments. Because we are generating waste, we should take responsibility and try to treat it at our own levels. Maybe individually, or maybe with the help of residential welfare associations. Like, we expect the industries which are producing products to treat their effluent. Same way, when we are producing this waste, we should also treat our own waste. So I will tell you in simple ways how we can do this. We can all do it at home. It is not rocket science. It is very simple. And you don't need to buy anything from market. Everything is available in your own homes or in your surroundings. So basically, this decomposition of waste is an aerobic process. So what you need most important is air, and also you need moisture. And of course, you need waste, which is kitchen and garden waste. And you need some bacteria to do the job. When we set curd in our homes, we put a starter culture. So same way, either we need an accelerator culture or microbial culture, which you can buy from the companies which are selling it. Of course, my teammates Rachna and Palak will be sharing, the companies which are providing these composting bins and the accelerator cultures with you in the chat box. But if you don't want to buy, no problems. We can do it. I will tell you how to do it. So it's a simple process. It's an aerobic process. So we need air and we need moisture. And of course, we need waste. And to substitute the accelerator cultures, we can either use the compost from our previous batch, one possibility. Second possibility is we can use charge, because charge also has bacteria. And we can use jaggery solution, because jaggery the bacteria love, So these are the three possibilities if you don't want to buy. And I will be showing you the process in a plastic bin today and a transparent bin, because it is easy to see. So I'm just switching on my. I can't see my, can you switch on my top view camera video? Hello?
Ram, I think you have to do it.
I can't see my camera actually.
Doctor, first you have to switch it on. You yourself have to switch it on.
No, I can't see it at all. So
no, first you switch it on, then you have to switch it on the mobile.
No, it's not showing me the.
Yeah. So first you switch on your mobile.
Let me take it out. Start video किया है ना, उल्टा आ रहा होगा.
Okay, I'll just spotlight it. We are able to see it.
Okay, thank you. So I am showing it in a transparent plastic bin, because so that you can see. And I am taking a small bin today, which is about 4 to 5 liters, so that you can get the results quickly. Because if you take a big capacity, then there may be problems of clump formation and you may not be able to churn it. So you want to see the results. That's why I'm taking a small bin. So for beginners, the advice is to take a smaller pit. So how do we do it? First thing is we need aeration. So I'm going to make some holes. So I have switched on my soldering iron, and I am making one hole in the bottom and some holes on the sides at different heights, so that air can percolate. So I am using a soldering iron, but if you don't have, you can use a drilling machine. You can also heat a knitting needle on the gas stove and then make these holes. But this is a must. So I have made a few holes. So I hope you can see how I made the holes. But if you don't have a soldering iron, don't worry. You can use any knitting needle and heat it on the gas and pierce it. Then the first layer I am going to put is soil, because soil has bacteria. Soil is living actually. I'm sure all of you have heard about the Save Soil movement by Jaggi Vasudev from Nisha Foundation.
Yes, doctor. Yeah, yes.
Yes, and
We
it is
did.
so important for us to save the soil, because soil top layer, which is the fertile layer, is important for all the food which we want to grow on the soil. So I have put about an inch layer of soil.
Doctor,
Then
can we use a 20-liter distillery bottle for this purpose? Can we use a 20-liter distillery bottle?
yes, you can use, but actually preferably not to use transparent bottle. I am using transparent bottle so that you can see.
I
Because
see.
normally
Okay.
you are supposed to put it in diffuse sunlight. So the transparent bottle will allow every
Okay.
light to pass through. So generally people use black drums. If you have seen those uh, baskets or bins which are sold, or people use terracotta pots, or
Oh, I
people
see.
use earthenwares like matka, pitchers, which we use to store water. And
How
those
about-
are very good, because you don't need to put holes in them, because they already
Ah.
are porous. They already
see.
are porous. So
How
I
about
would
painting the transparent bottle?
yes, you can paint it black. Then it is as good as that from outside.
Okay, perfect. Beautiful.
Yes. So yes, that is a good option, that if you don't have this, you can do this. Then next layer I am going to put is newspaper cuttings. And whenever you are composting, better to chop your pieces into small pieces. Otherwise, composting will take longer time. So second layer I have made with newspaper cuttings. Third layer I am going to put.
And what is the purpose of the newspaper there? What does it do?
I will just tell you, we are supposed
Okay.
to have browns and greens.
I
So
see.
browns and greens will provide the carbon and nitrogen. If you
Okay.
don't have the right combination, then you will either have odor in your waste box, or the waste will not degrade, because that will form like a clump. So the next layer I am going to put is some vegetable and garden waste. These are like bhindi, ladyfinger, and turai and potato peels. And you can put fruit peels, you can put banana peels, you can put, if you are peeling apples, you can peel, but we don't peel, because peels are supposed to be rich in nutrients. So I have put the kitchen waste. And now I am going to put some neem waste, neem leaves. Why neem leaves? I'm sure all of you have seen your grandmas put neem leaves in, dried neem leaves in rice or wheat boxes, or where they store clothes. Because neem is an insecticide, natural insecticide. So I
Okay.
am putting some neem leaves, so that when you will put this compost in your soil, you will not need to put any pesticides. And as Ram was telling you, these chemical fertilizers and pesticides are very harmful. I just want to share, I'm tempted to share a study which we conducted through Department of Biotechnology at Indian Council of Medical Research. And they tested human breast milk samples from women across different socioeconomic strata. And I mean, it is a very sorry state, but women from educated, uneducated, from very rich, affluent families, from poor families, the breast milk had harmful pesticides like DDT and HCH, which have been banned for a long time.
Oh.
And what these pesticides and fertilizers do to us, I'm sure you have seen that we have lots of these problems of developmental disorders, ADHD in children, even this hearing deficit, even the other problems in kids are on an increase. Because from the childhood, our children are exposed, even when they are in the womb, or because in the womb, the placenta, in fact, concentrates these chemicals. Like even in plants, if you are growing cauliflower, the flower of the inflorescence of cauliflower will accumulate all the pesticides. So what we are going to consume is actually going to be very bad for us. And even in elderly people, it causes problems like cancer. It causes problems like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's. I'm sure you have all heard about the cancer train which goes from Batinda to Bikaner somewhere, and on the way, Abohar. So because in Punjab, the use of fertilizers and pesticides is the maximum. And even in some plantations, like I once saw the Satyamev Jayate episode of Amir Khan, where he showed how the cashew plantations in Kasargod region, where they were using lots of these chemical pesticides, and the kids were being born with lots of inborn defects. So this is very damaging for us. So let all of us understand, when Sharan tells us to buy organic and eat only organic, some people say that, we don't get organic and organic is expensive and we don't trust the certification. See, we have to trust. And if we go to farmers market and have a connection with our farmers, they will be, giving us the right food for us, because they anyway grow separately for their own families. I've seen several interviews where they say they don't, because the customer wants, that there should be no speck on the fruit, or it should be clean and it should be big and it should be uniform. That's why they are coating it with wax, like the apples we get in the market are being coated with wax, which is so damaging to our health. So in fact, they say that if a parrot pecks on a fruit, that is the best, that is the sweetest, because the animals know, that these chemicals and fertilizers are bad for us, bad for them. So and no other species pollutes its own food except for the humans. We only put fertilizers and pesticides in our food. So we need to substitute when there are sustainable options which are good for us, which are good for the environment. So now I have put the neem leaves so that the compost will have the pesticide effect also along with the fertilizer. So now I am going to put the browns. So I am putting the brown leaves, dried brown leaves. In fact, I collected a few days ago because this is raining in Delhi, so difficult to get dry leaves, but somehow I have managed. And some browns from the Amazon packets. And you can keep pressing your base. So I have put the browns. Now the top layer I need to put is again soil and compost. So I am going to put soil, thin layer of soil now, because soil is rich in microbes. And in my garden soil, we are not putting any chemicals and fertilizers and pesticides. We only put organic compost, neem khali, sarson khali. I will be telling you all that subsequently. So our soil is, you can see it is very rich and black. And then I'm going to put some compost. You can see the compost is dark black in color. That's why it's known as black gold. Gold because it gives, us food. Food is more precious than even gold. So I have put this. And to hasten the process, to quicken the process, I am also going to put some jaggery solution. So all of us have this jaggery in our homes. So if you are taking a 20-liter bin, 20 kg bin, then you can put about 50 grams of jaggery. So I am just having a 5 kg bin. So I have just taken one small piece of jaggery and dissolved it in water. So I am putting this water so that it will give the necessary moisture as well as the sugar rush to the bacteria. And now I need to cover this. Why I need to cover this is because otherwise there will be insects, mosquitoes, flies, rodents, and that will not be good for my waste decomposition, because then I will have problems. And I have not put the lids as too tight. I have just kept it on top, and I have made some holes on the lid also, so that there will be aeration. So I have put air, I have told you moisture is very important, and I have put the right combination of browns and greens. Browns I put by putting newspaper clippings. You can also put straw if you have, or you can put wood shavings as browns. And of course, I have put kitchen waste, and I have also put some garden waste, and I have also put some neem leaves. So my compost is also going to be a complete package. It will be like a fertilizer based with pesticidal or insecticidal properties. And why do we need to put both greens and browns? Firstly, when we eat food, we want to eat dal, chawal, roti, sabzi. So we need macro and micronutrients. Same way, plants also need macro and micronutrients. I'm sure all of you have read about NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. These are the major nutrients, and of course they need carbon. So carbon they get from carbon dioxide, and water of course is essential for the plants. And plants also need several micronutrients in different quantities, like they need calcium, they need magnesium, they need manganese, they need sulfur, they need boron, they need phosphorus, and so on and so forth. So like that, to have all the components which they need, we are putting browns and greens, because browns will give them carbon and greens will give them nitrogen. And if we don't put both, then there will be odor formation. And you are supposed to also shuffle this waste maybe every 2-3 days once, because otherwise some part which is on the top may be degrading quicker, and the lower portions may remain like that, and then there may be a clump formation or thick brick-like formation which will not then degrade. So we need to shuffle so that there is air and the moisture reaches, and the microbial consortia are flourishing in this, because we have put compost, we have put soil, and we have put jaggery solution. Remember, when we do baking, when we want our yeast to rise, we put some sugar, 1 spoon sugar in the water first, and then put the yeast, so that yeast will rise. Same way, the bacteria also love the sugar. We all also love sugar. So same way, they need sugar to meet their energy requirement, because they are so fast multiplying. And if you have a bigger bin, I just showed you one layer. If you have a bigger bin, you can keep forming layers. First layer is soil. Then second layer is newspaper clippings and old tissues. Then third layer is kitchen waste. Fourth layer is, I put neem leaves so that we will have pesticidal properties. Fifth layer is soil and compost. And sixth layer is jaggery solution. So in the same sequence, you can keep adding. And then, shuffle once in a while, every 2-3 days. And this is normally going to take about 3 months. But if you have a smaller bin, it may be quicker. If you have shortage of space, if you are constraint of space, there are, 3-tier composting bins coming, one on top of another. So first you put your waste in top, then remove that top bin to the bottom and fill in the middle. Then remove the middle to bottom and fill in the second tier. So that way you can, keep rotating. In the meantime, your first bin would have become compost, so you can use that. So there is a question that whether you can put citrus. Yes, you can put citrus peels if you are doing bacterial composting. But if you are doing vermicomposting, then we should not put citrus, we should not put onion, and we should not put garlic, because these peels have a lot of odor, and this repels the worms, the earthworms, Icena pitida. So if you are doing bacterial composting, no problem. You can put your citrus peels here. I just put what was available for me today. So that way my compost should be ready in 3 months. And how you will know whether your compost is ready or not, I will just show you. Can you spotlight the other camera, please? Okay, I'm showing in this only. So this is like granular. It's like, crumbled chocolate cake. It's like crumbled chocolate cake, people say. And it is granular and its smell is earthy. As when you have rains, so when the rainwater splashes on soil, you get that typical earthy smell. Or if you have ever taken water from a pitcher, earthen pitcher, then the smell of that matka water, earthen pitcher water, same smell you will get in this. So,
Doctor, can you explain the difference between bacterial composting and vermicompost?
yes. Today we are doing bacterial composting, bacterial and aerobic composting, where air is an essential component. In vermicomposting, they put worms, earthworms, Icina fetida. And earthworms will take this, waste and remove, take out molds, which they call. You will see, you have seen in the rainy season, circle of balls of, small balls of mitti. So that is made by earthworms. And that is the most fertile soil.
Oh, I see.
So that is vermicompost. Vermicompost is also very good for your plants, and vermicomposting is faster because they are like, earthworms are bigger organisms and they eat faster and they decompose the waste faster. Vermicompost is faster, but bacterial composting will take about 3 months. And if you put charge, you can put charge, then it will hasten the process. If you put accelerator culture, which you want to buy from the market, that will also be quicker, but we have done from what is available in our house so that we don't have to go anywhere and it will be done. So you can just leave it in diffuse sunlight and it will be done, except that you have to shuffle it once in a while. So we are done with the first topic for today, which is composting. And then this compost you can put in your plants. You can put about 50 grams in one pot of 10 to 12 inches size. How many of people in the audience like tea? So the next topic which we will be covering is making compost tea.
Okay, before that, shall we take some questions? Let's
Okay.
cover anything which missed out. Yeah. Okay, one of the question is that can we make inside the house as I don't have balcony, but big windows are we get sunlight?
In fact, people say that you can eat by the side of the compost bin because there is no odor formation.
Oh.
For me, I don't actually do composting inside my house because I have got a compost pit dug in one of the parks in the colony. The Residential Welfare Association has got it dug for me. So I am putting all the garden waste and my kitchen waste there.
Okay.
And generating my own compost, which I am taking for my kitchen garden as well as the other garden.
But you are saying that in the homes, even without balcony, we can
People
still
say
use.
you can put it by the side of your dining table, and because there is no odor formation. Odor formation will only be there if you do not have the right, blue, brown and green, both.
Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. There is another question about newspapers. Okay. Anna says that newspapers have ink. Is that not a chemical? Newspapers.
Newspaper will have the ink, of course.
Okay. And it's not necessary, right? If not that, we can use cardboard boxes.
Actually,
and things.
that's why I didn't put the browns from Amazon cardboards, because people say the cardboards which you get from Amazon are coated with some paraffin wax.
Oh.
For the increasing their shelf life or durability. Okay. That's why I didn't put the browns, and I didn't have the straw or wood shavings. So that's why I just put the brown, dry brown leaves and some newspaper cuttings.
Ah, okay, I see. Okay, so it's not essential, and we can use
If you have
alternate
straw
options.
like the farm, if you have a farm, then you will have straw, and then you don't need to do this.
Okay, another question from Sinha is that dry leaves take too much time to decompose. And now I'm using cocoa peat to accelerate the process. What should be used? Can I use vegan curd or jaggery or both?
Yeah, you can use vegan curd and jaggery both,
Ah, I see.
because that will be faster. Like I use compost, and I
Okay.
also use jaggery, because bacteria also need food to multiply, and
Okay.
bacteria's shelf life is so fast that they keep multiplying so fast. They need food for their growth.
Ah, okay.
So if they flourish, my composting will be better and quicker. That's why I put both.
Okay. Can you show your bottle from the front view? Okay, I think we see it mostly from the top view. They want to see, we'll spotlight that one. Okay, just 1 second.
Can you see now?
Ah, yeah, we can see that. Okay, can you put it in the, acha, your front view is better. Okay, fine. We'll switch back to your regular view. Okay. Yes, this is the perfect view. Yeah. Okay, this is how it looks from the front side. Okay, there are holes, and then we can see all the layers.
Yes, and you can see the holes on the top also.
Yes.
On the
Yeah, that we have seen
on
before.
the lid also.
Yeah, correct.
Because aeration is most important. Now I will also tell you some don'ts. What you should not do. You should not put cooked food.
Oh,
Because
okay, there was one question on that also. Yeah, we can use leftover foods.
No, cooked food will cause odor. There will be smell. Although bacteria are also deodorizers, they also remove odor. But
Okay.
we should not, because their digestion time or decomposition times will also be different. Remember, when we go to SHARAN tells us that we should eat one cereal
Grain.
at a time.
Okay,
Either eat
correct.
dal or chawal or millet. Similarly, fruits, we should only take fruits like melon should not be mixed with others, because their digestion time is different. Because then, one food which digests quickly will be digested, the other one will, be fermenting, and there will be putrefaction, and then we will have burping and gas formation in the body. So same way here, we should not put cooked food, we should not put animal waste here, except for cow dung slurry. If you have cow dung, dissolve it in water, put that as a slurry. That is very good microbial consortia source. So you don't need to buy any accelerator culture. You can simply put cow dung slurry. Like I
Okay.
put compost because I don't have cow dung. But if you have cow dung, you can put. But normally, people ask if they should put the hair or the waste of the pet animals. No, it is not advisable.
Okay. And do
Because
we
there will
need
be
to,
odor.
how often do we need to water this? We need to put water?
No, water you don't need to, unless you see that there is some clump formation. Like I have already put jaggery. So,
Okay.
and then there is moisture in my kitchen waste and
Yes.
garden waste also. So
Correct.
I don't need to subsequently add water unless you see there is some clump formation in your waste.
Okay.
So
And one more
otherwise,
question.
no need.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Gauri asks, our area gets infested with white ants, demug. Any solution for that?
Yeah, maybe we will do a session on pest control subsequently. There is basically
Okay,
composting
another topic.
and
Oh, I see.
fertilizers. So that will take a lot of time. But
Okay.
people normally are, you can try this neem oil
Okay.
or neem khali. I will be showing neem khali as a fertilizer today, but neem khali is also having pesticidal properties. That's why I also used neem leaves in the compost, so that you have
Okay.
one in all, one-stop solution, fertilizer and pesticide.
Does
So
the
the
bin
next,
need? Does the bin need to be kept in the sunlight or darkness?
diffuse sunlight.
Diffuse sunlight. Okay, fine. I think we have someone who has just put the kitchen waste already. Okay, fine. I think we are done.
Okay, so the next topic is, I loved tea before going to SHARAN, and I was taking a lot of tea, because tea is like a kick. When you are tired, so you feel that it gives you a kick. And same way, maybe the plants also like the tea, because when you take, for example, vitamin B12, sometimes you are told that you should also take zinc, because then the bioavailability of vitamin in your body will be better. Same way, if we provide nutrition to plants in a liquid form, because normally plants are absorbing nutrition from soil through their roots, but they also absorb through aerial root, through their leaves, foliar roots. So if we make compost tea, some people say compost tea is a wrong term, it should be known as compost beer, because it is basically fermentation and some microbial consortia are being added there. So what you can do is you can dilute your compost with water and leave it for a few days, 2 to 3 days. And then you can spray it on your plants so that surface area from leaves also will be absorbing, and they will be also absorbing from roots. So that way absorption of nutrients will be much better for plants. So that is composting. If you just spotlight the other camera, you can see I have put some water in the compost, and you can cover it and leave it. You are supposed to cover it like this. Don't do it tight. And there will be some bacteria joining in this. So your compost will be further fortified. Like, we have these fortified foods or superfoods or functional foods. Same way, compost tea or compost beer will be better for our plants. So you can use this after 2-3 days on your plants. And I just want to show you how healthy my plants are. So you can see, I just brought one pot inside. So this is my croton.
Okay. Yeah, beautiful.
So plants are very happy with organic fertilizers and pesticides. They don't need chemical fertilizers. So the next the fertilizer which we are going to talk about today is Neem Sheet.
This compost tea, does it need to be stirred every day?
Huh?
The compost tea,
Yes.
does it need to be stirred?
No need.
Stirred.
No need.
stirring.
Just 2-3 days you leave it, and then you stir it, and then put it in a sprayer, and then spray it all over.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
the next fertilizer I am going to show you is Neem Sheet. This you can get from any nursery, and it's not very expensive. I think you get it 1 kg for 100 rupees. And if you put 1 spoon, there is a spoon inside. So if you just put 1 spoon, that is enough for 10 to 12 inches pot. And if when you are making your potting mix, if you put this, you will not get the pest problems. So you can, nip it in the bud. You can nip it in the bud by putting it in the soil mix itself. So just put 1 spoon of this Neem Sheet. Some people also, boil neem leaves in water and then put that water. That is also a possibility. But I have already told you I am putting neem leaves in my compost bin, so I don't need to put separately. But still, I am telling you that you can put it like a powder. You can also dissolve it in water, and you can put that water also. So that is one fertilizer. Another fertilizer you can put, these are all organic. These are not chemical based. Of course, chemicals will be there, but not chemically synthesized chemicals, natural chemicals. So this is neem khali or mustard cake. This also you get in any animal feed shop. You also get it in nurseries, and you also get it in shops where they are, extracting cold pressed oil. So we got it from a cold pressed oil selling shop. So this is very cheap, 30 rupees kg you can get. Only word of caution I want to tell you here is that don't put it too much in summers, because it's very hot. Like, if you put more urea which is a source of nitrogen, which is a synthetic fertilizer, chemical fertilizer, if you put more, your plants will burn. So same way, this is also very rich in nitrogen. So this will also lead to burning of plants if you put more. So one possibility is that you dry it and powder it in a mixie and put about 5 grams, 1 spoon. See, in gardening, you don't need to be very perfect in terms of measurements. It is like approximation. So you can put 1 spoon, 1 teaspoon in every pot, or you can put water in this. And then, if you are taking 10 grams of this mustard cake, put 50 ml of water. Once it is dissolved, leave it for 2-3 days and then dilute it with 10 liters further. So that way I have made about 50 times dilution. And then only put it in your plants. And you can put about 20-30 ml per pot. That is enough to take care of your nitrogen requirements of your plants. This is mustard cake, sarson khali. So this is what remains after extracting oil.
Okay.
This is rich in nutrients. So this is sarson khali. Then the next thing which I'm going to show today is our favorite banana peel fertilizer. Banana peels are very rich in potassium, and plants' major macronutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Of course, nitrogen is not that much, but potassium is maximum in banana peel. In fact, banana peel fertilizer is being sold in market. What you can do, like in SHARAN, we consume a lot of banana for our smoothies. So I am also drying my banana peels and making powder. So I am going to show you. I have made powder. So either I can put this dry powder per pot, about a spoon. Every fortnight you can put. Or you can put your banana peels in water and then, put this water. You need not even strain it because this is biomass. So banana peels after being digested in this water for 2-3 days are very soft. So they will be easily decomposed in the pot itself. And they will give the potassium. Yeah, banana peels may take long to dry, but you can put them in water and then liquid form. The bioavailability of nutrients is better and quicker and faster. So that way, like you get these, if you have to take antibiotics, one route is oral, another route is injectable. So IV route is faster. So that way, similarly, this liquid route for nutrients is much better. You can put it in water for about a week, banana peels, and then use that water. So there are both options available, dry peel powder or banana peel solution. Aloe Vera. So can you spotlight the other camera, please?
Yeah, sure.
So I have the aloe vera leaf, which I have taken from my garden. And I'm just chopping it. Then the surface area increases, so the nutrients will be easily decomposed. So I have chopped it and I actually kept it in water yesterday.
Okay.
So you can see the solution is already yellowish.
Yeah, correct.
So you can put this solution in your pots along with the peels, because they will be anyway decomposed, and this biomass matter is good for them also. Same way as fiber is good for us, same way it is good for plants also. So you can put it along with the peels. So you don't need to strain it. So the banana peels also you can put along with the peels. No need to strain. Similarly, you can put it along with them. So that way, you have lots of these banana peels being generated every day, which are landing in the landfills. So if you treat them, you will be reducing the waste which is going to the landfill, and you will be increasing the productivity to keep of your plants, because all their nutrients requirements, macro and micronutrients, will be met through this. And of course, you know, all of us wash our dal, chawal, millets every day. And we just give 4, 5, 6 rinses. And maybe 1 bucket of water is being wasted every day. And in that bucket also lots of beneficial substances are going. Like dals are very rich in protein. So protein means amino acids and nitrogen. Proteins are constituents are amino acids and nitrogen. So if we don't throw that water, we will not only be saving water, we will also be giving lot of nutrition to our plants. So these are some simple tips to have a healthy garden without having to buy chemical fertilizers and pesticides, which are not only bad for us, which are bad for our soil, which are bad for our water, bad for our air and Mother Earth. So that way we can have our own fertilizers and pesticides. Neem Khali, KHALI. It is available in all nurseries. And it's about 100 rupees a kg. And it will, I bought it 2-3 years ago. So, I mean, you just put 1 spoon. And if you are putting your neem leaves in your compost bin, then you don't even need to put that neem khali in the. So I am just giving you options that in case you don't want to. And instead of buying chemical fertilizers and pesticides, you can buy these mustard cake, buy this neem khali. Aloe vera leaves, I'm sure, are available. Banana leaves are available. So all these, some people, also say that how many fertilizers I need to put. See, like we need different types of nutrition, same way plants also need macro and micronutrients. One possibility is that you mix all the peels in one go, put it in water, and then put it in the pots. Another possibility is today I have put aloe vera water. After 10 days, I can put neem khali water. Then I can put sarson khali water. Depends also, what stage my plants are. When your plants are in reproductive phase, that means when they are flowering and fruiting, then you need more, for example, potassium. Then banana peel fertilizer will be very good. So depends. I mean, you can keep, once you start doing gardening, you will get hang of it. That if you overdo, it will not be good.
Okay.
And if you don't don't fertilize them, then your plants will be drooping. And, if you don't moisturize, it is not a good situation. If you over water, it is not a good situation. So you have to have the right kind of combination. Same way, I mean, these things will come with experience, but I am giving you initially tips. And there are a lot of literature available on YouTube. So you can also see some more videos. Even on SHARAN website, we have lots of videos. So you can see and get more details, which banana will give you more potassium. This compost will give you right carbon, nitrogen, and the mix of micro and macronutrients, because we have put lots of vegetable, fruit, and leaf waste, leaf manure.
Okay,
So,
I think there are a few questions. Can we use peanut cake instead of mustard for the?
Yes, maybe you can use peanut cake also.
Okay.
But generally, people use mustard cake
cake
because it is very rich in nitrogen.
I see. Okay.
Very rich.
And for that banana peel?
Mustard, at least mustard, in fact, I mean, these peanut peels, I had said you can use as a substitute to cocoa peat. Because if you are eating peanuts in the winters, then you can crush those wooden portion and make a powder and then use, because basically you need a surface which is absorbing more moisture. Cocoa peat is doing that purpose, moisture absorption and retention for a longer time. So that if I'm not able to water for one day, at least my plants will not die.
Okay.
So maybe we will have a session, because audience seems to be interested in gardening. So next session, maybe I will show them some advanced, I mean, first session, once we did basics of kitchen gardening, where we did how to make potting soil and how to make
Yeah, and there was one request for that white ants issue also.
Yes, so we will do one session on pests also. Pests,
Okay.
you can try neem khali and you can try neem oil. In
Okay.
fact, you can try our haldi and lots of these garlic and onion peels if you boil in water and then you use that water, because none of these pests, including the termites, like the odor of garlic and onion. So they run away
Oh, I
and
see.
die.
Okay. And in the banana wheels thing, what we have used, do we cover the what do you call?
Yes, you cover, because otherwise there will be mosquitoes.
Ah,
I opened the aloe vera lid also in front of you. I
yes.
kept it covered. Or keep everything covered, but not tight lid.
For the aloe vera, how many days we keep it?
1 or 2 days is enough,
That's enough.
because these are like soft tissues. If you
And for
are
the banana
using
peels?
in your banana also, 2-3 days is good enough. Compost,
Okay.
depends 3 to 5 days. In your compost, if you are using woody material and twigs, hard twigs, then the time taken will be more. So that's why I didn't put any twigs from my garden. I only put leaves and softer tissues.
Okay. In case of aloe vera, what aspect of plant does it fulfill? What does aloe vera do for the plant?
The aloe vera, for example, for us also is very good. It's used in moisture as a moisturizer. It is used in almost all cosmetics.
Okay.
Same way, one thing is it has lot of moisture retention ability, and it has lots of any plant is having carbon and nitrogen, so that also will be provided by it. And lots of different plants will have different micronutrients, so aloe vera will also provide some of those.
Okay. And can we use coconut husk and shell in the bacterial compost mix?
You can use, no harm, because that will be like brown portion.
Okay.
But you will have to shred it thin.
Okay.
Because otherwise it is hard, so it will take longer time to decompose.
Oh, fine. I think
Actually, coconut peat or coconut coir is better as a coco peat, as a moisture retaining. We mix soil, sand, coco peat, and compost in your potting mix in 1:1 ratio, and that's the ideal potting mix. Unless you are talking about succulents or desert plants like cactus, where you don't need water retention, so you don't need maybe to put coco peat. So depending on the plants which you are growing, some plants need more moisture, some plants need less moisture. So accordingly, you will have to do that. But by and large, that 1:1 formula is good enough for most of the ornamentals and like our kitchen herbs and tomatoes and bindi and potatoes and so on.
okay, fine. So do you think we should share those recap slides now?
Better, because people can take an
Screenshot of it.
of the 6 layers in case they have forgotten.
Okay, fine. Okay, so for the benefit of everyone, we are sharing the recap slides. Please take a screenshot of it so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, here is the introduction to the. Okay, this is what we are trying to do: waste to wealth, creating the compost black gold. Okay, this is the first screenshot for all of you. Yeah, please, I'll hold here for a few seconds. Hope you can see the.
Which also says do's and don'ts, so you can.
Huh.
One thing I forgot to say was that you have to put a plate or something below the compost bin, because we are putting this jaggery solution, so there might be some leachates coming out. So that leachate can be used as a fertilizer. So your space should also not get dirty. And please don't add any weeds, because then, if you add weeds in reproductive stage, then, the seeds of weeds will be again, whenever you are going to put that compost in your pots, weeds will be flourishing. So never add any weeds, especially during reproductive phase, if they are flowering and fruiting.
Okay, fine. So if everyone has taken the screenshot of this is the most important slide. So we are leaving here a few seconds so that everyone can take a screenshot. If you are done, just let me know yes, done in the chat box. Then I'll show you the next slide. Okay, you can save them. Okay, the next slide is this one. This is the Compost Tea Beer Magic Elixir.
It's known as, I mean, people prefer to call it as beer or magic because this is like, one-stop solution for all the needs of plants. Because we are putting diverse fruits, vegetables, browns, greens, garden waste here. So it meets all the requirements of plants.
Okay, this is the second slide for you to take a screenshot. And now we'll move to the third one. We have one more. Let me just see. Okay, this is for the fertilizers from the kitchen. Yeah, I think this is the one a lot of us have had questions. Please take a screenshot so that you can refer to it after this presentation is over. Of course, we'll also share the recording of this. We have here banana peels, then we have mustard cake, neem khali, as well as the water we use for pulses. Okay, is there anything more? Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so here is a summary. Don't use chemical fertilizers and pesticides in your garden. This will harm the plants, your health, as well as pollute the soil. So don't put biodegradable waste such as kitchen waste, garden waste in landfills. Okay, that's a big no. And compost kitchen and garden waste and use it in your garden. Buy compost, vermicompost, cow dung manure. So those you can buy. And use water to wash your pulses, rice to save water, and also fertilize plants. Anything else, Dr. Suman?
No, I think we are, unless there are any more questions. So I just want to thank Ram. And I love this idea of doing a poll with the audience. And I also thank Rachna and Palak, who have always helped me with hosting this session. I also want to thank Reena, Meena, and Dr. Nandita for giving us this platform to take this message how you can be more environmentally sustainable. So please, I request all of you to take responsibility. And we did the 5 hours principles in our first session on waste segregation. So first 1 hour we added was responsibility. Then of course refuse. So we can refuse packaging when we buy. We can refuse polythene. We can take our own cloth bags. We can refuse boxes. We can take our own boxes to zero waste shops. So like that, we can reduce the waste. We can repurpose the old goods. We can also consider, sharing with others and borrowing from friends and family. And of course, recycle or repurpose. So composting is one way of recycling, which is actually the last option otherwise. So if I want to buy anything new, I must not do impulsive shopping. Only shop when you need it, when it is absolutely essential. We must realize our responsibility because the Mother Earth is really in a bad shape.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's like a now or never situation. So do or die. So if we don't take immediate steps, even Jaggi Vasudev tried to emphasize that if we as electorates take responsibility and force the politicians also to take environmentally sustainable decisions, and at our own levels also we do the necessary steps. I mean, these cumulative steps, individually, I may be treating maybe 20 kg waste per month. So that way per year, 240 kgs. And if we are 31 million people, so if you multiply that by 31 million, so imagine the load on land fills will be reduced substantially. So at least let us try to do our bit.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for helping me out, and thank you for being there. I am hopeful that all of us collectively will make a huge difference.
Yeah,
Thanks
a
to
lot.
all of you.
Yeah, one last question. There is a young participant who is asking, is compost and fertilizer the same?
Compost is an organic fertilizer. See, there are chemical fertilizers and there are organic fertilizers. Like, when you buy organic fruits and vegetables, they are also using fertilizers, but they are not using chemical fertilizers. They are using organic fertilizers like compost. They are using cow dung manure. They are using vermicompost. They may be using neem khali. They may be using mustard cake. Instead of using NPK, instead of using DAP, DAP, which they call. So instead of using chemical fertilizers, which are causing harm to our health, human health, animals' health, soil health, air and water quality health. So otherwise, I mean, this is manure, but this is also for going to meet all the nutritional requirements of plants. So you need not buy any chemicals. At least last 30, 40 years, I have been gardening. I am not buying any chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Of course, I didn't do kitchen gardening earlier. I was only doing ornamentals. But I have been doing it and my plants are surviving and surviving happily. I mean, they are very healthy. And
okay, and
next
suppose
time
we
I will
do.
take you a virtual tour of my garden.
That
Then
would be
we
nice.
do a kitchen session, a kitchen gardening session. And I will show you, how pineapple crown, which we throw, you can grow a pineapple plant from that.
Wow, is it really?
And how you can do rooting in some of your neem cuttings or guava cuttings, so that you don't have to buy plants from nurseries.
Wow, that will be fantastic. Okay, I think there are some requests. Like one is that okay, they would love to see some session for kids, and they'd love to see your garden as well. I think that's a good idea.
Next session we will have a virtual tour of my kitchen garden.
And one other
I
small
live in a
compliment.
flat, so I don't have any plot. I just have pots. And I have 2, 3, 4, like, vertical garden, kind of my own created old bottles.
Yeah, that's even better. So that
Old
most of us fall in that bracket.
Old plastic bottles. It's a mix of, pots.
Okay, one other question I just came up. If we do composting for 3 months, how often do we need to stir?
How initially you stir once in every 3, 4 days, then the duration can increase.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Once a week.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I think that's it. I think as far as the questions are concerned, so I'll take a couple of minutes to introduce about the upcoming SHARAN events, which are pretty exciting. Please stay with me for just a couple of minutes, and then we are done for today. So I'll share my screen, and I'll take you to the SHARAN website, which you all know already. This is sharan-india.org/events. As you might know, not only SHARAN does so many free things like what we did today, free talks, educational stuff. We also have a lot of consultations, recorded classes like diabetes reversal program, basic cooking class, and weight loss programs. So those are the recorded sessions. Then we have what is called consultation programs with the doctors as well as nutritionists. This you can pick up at any time so that you get personalized advice. We even have a COVID desk. We have additional, then of course, many of our cooking classes. We have really special ones like cheese, hot beverages, desserts. If the events are over for a few days, you might get recordings like this. And today, of course, you have seen this Eco Champ, which is a free series which has been running for several months now. And tomorrow there is an exciting event, which is the health quiz, and lots of prizes to be won. Tomorrow being an Independence Day, we have created a special event, which is a free event, and lots of goodies to be won. So please do attend. And you also might know that we have a lot of retreats now. In addition to the annual retreat, which we do at Gokarna, we also have 7-day retreats, 4-day raw retreats, and things like that. And now we even have live classes, particularly in Mumbai. We have cooking for health, then there is a curd class as well as a smoothie class. Some of them are even happening live. So, and there are many more. So I'm leaving you at that. So that's a quick overview of so many things that you can enjoy from the SHARAN's portfolio. So, okay, I think that's it from our side. Thanks for joining. And I hope it was helpful and useful for all of you. Bye-bye, everyone.